Hello and welcome to another episode of the Daily Chat Podcast, where we talk about all things awesome and nerdy. Guys, this one's gonna be kind of a tricky subject to talk about. We're gonna be talking about fandoms, but specifically, first we're gonna be talking about some trailers, and then we're gonna be going into what I think should be a very interesting topic, which is when fandoms and being a fan just goes too far. And joining me today is one of my favorite guests to have on the show, Dan Tundis.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, Dan, so how you been, man?
I'm good. I feel like this is an appropriate topic to tackle right now, since we're watching the Olympics, and the Super Bowl just came and went, and everybody's ooh rah rahing all over the place for different individual sports, and curling is going on, which has been my highlight.
A fiendish thingy.
Yeah,
fiendish thingy. So first things first, let's just talk about something that just goes into the hype of being a fandom. Some serious trailers have come out between today and since the Super Bowl.
In the last 10 days, we got a bunch of new trailer drops and teasers, and I'm still unsure what the difference between teasers and actual trailers are, since they both seem to run about 2 minutes long. And in my mind, teasers used to be 15, 20 seconds, where you get a glimpse of a costume's arm and the big blue beam from the sky, and that's a teaser to me. These are just trailers, and albeit some of them are not very good.
No, and that's going to bring us into the first one here, which is Jurassic World 2, whatever the subtitle is.
Can they find better titles for these instead? Could it be Jurassic Universe or Jurassic Galaxy or something else? I just feel like Jurassic World 2 is just so blasé.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I am not really looking forward to this movie to begin with.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's how I felt about the first Jurassic World movie. But at the end of the day, it's got dinosaurs and Jeff Goldblum. How much more do you need to get my money?
I mean, I'm just saying. I think the plot of this one is, at the very least, it feels like this should be the end of all the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park movies. But I know it won't be.
They could have named it Jurassic Extinction.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just...
There's missed opportunities here.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't they hire us to come up with the name of these movies?
I don't know. And it's not even... The Jurassic isn't even the right period that most of these dinosaurs come from.
No.
They're from all over the place.
Yeah.
But, they're not Jurassic.
No, they're not. They're mostly Cretaceous,
They're mostly Cretaceous, yeah. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was during the Cretaceous age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, already that's... But, I mean, that's more of a dig at the author, which, he's written way more successful books than I have.
Yeah, right.
My grand total is 0, so...
Yeah.
I'm not, Michael Crichton. So, shout out to Michael Crichton.
Way to go, Michael Crichton.
For writing a whole bunch of books and beating my record of 0 on the national bestseller list. So maybe I should just shut up on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, they definitely run their course. I think after the second Jurassic Park movie, which I liked, mixed reviews on that one. Sure, that's fine. But I think that they've all pretty much run their course. The time of the dinosaurs has ended.
Well, to me, it just seems ridiculous because the whole it based on the trailers from what I've seen, it looks like the premise of this movie is volcano on the island is going to go kaboomy boom.
Yeah.
So we got to save the dinosaurs.
I don't understand why they want to save the dinosaurs.
I know, because this is the 5th time the dinosaurs have gotten loose now and tried to kill everyone.
And it'll be the 2nd time they've been extincted. They've been made extinct.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been made extinct. So who cares? They're not supposed to be on this planet anywhere. Honestly, they are a scientific catastrophe.
Yeah.
This is not a good thing. We're doing the universe a favor by not allowing dinosaurs to exist on this planet anymore. They're not supposed to be here.
Right, exactly.
That sounds really awful.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum did say in the first movie that dinosaurs had their chance and nature selected them for extinction.
They did.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my best Jeff Goldblum.
I love his hemming and hawing. That's it's one of my favorite. I mean, it's part of the reason I feel like Jeff Goldblum is really only going to amount to a full 10 minutes on screen during this movie, and they used a minute and a half of him just in the trailer to get people to go see it.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I'm still probably gonna see it. I don't know that I'm gonna that feels like budget theater for me though. That seems like $2 Tuesdays type of thing. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna go pull full freight to go see Chris Pratt run around with some velociraptors like they're wayward dogs that he trained.
Right.
That I can suspend my disbelief for so long, but I think the fact that you made Raptor Palace is one of the ones that it's like that shot in the first one of him on the motorcycle with the velociraptors, and you're just like, oh man.
You know what actually made me? You know what? Here's the thing, though, and I said this on on a previous podcast, but for me, I remember seeing the trailers for Jurassic World, and that was the scene I saw in the trailers that I knew when I went to go see the movie that I was either going to love that scene or just roll my eyes at it.
Yeah, and you rolled your eyes.
Here's the thing. That wasn't the scene that made me roll my eyes or do either. The scene that made me roll my eyes was when whatever the heck the name of that made-up dinosaur was, it was part raptor.
Oh, yeah. Kingosaurus Rex.
Yeah, whatever.
I have no idea.
I call it the made-up-asaurus Rex. So,
sure, that's fine.
Yeah, so the made-up-asaurus Rex is like telling all this pack of raptors that Chris Pratt raised to, kill them all, and Chris Pratt's given the second in command that whole, girl, you remember me, right? All the fun times we used to have together, and the raptor actually just looks at him pensively for a second and then gives him a little nod as if to say, fly, you fools. That's the scene that made me, I'm just like, no.
Yeah,
no.
Like your dog can't even communicate that well, and we've been domesticating them for thousands of years.
Exactly.
Yeah, this dude had 6 months with velociraptors. Yeah, no, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
That movie was, I mean, they're a spectacle to behold, that's for sure. And who doesn't like giant dinosaurs? But, yeah, that one's bad.
Yeah.
That's going to be bad.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what I don't think will be bad. Deadpool 2.
That trailer was a lot of fun. I think if they can keep up that recipe of just being fun and silly and not taking themselves so damn seriously like every other superhero movie, DC, I think that we have the makings of a pretty good sequel on our hands. I don't know that it's ever going to live up to the first one. I think the first one was just lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
I think from fans waiting for it for so long to a high-named actor that was really invested in it, to a great writing team, great supporting cast, I don't know that you're going to get that again.
To what I actually simply say is the best ad campaign for any superhero movie I've ever seen in my life.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, this ad campaign, it's good. This ad campaign is good. It's just, it doesn't feel as if
it hasn't started yet. The movie comes out in May, and we're still, mid-Feb, so yeah. I think we got a little ways to go. But, I mean, they did the whole, Valentine's Day push, the weird emojis on the billboards, it was really creative and really fun.
Yeah.
I think this time, like I said, the cat's already out of the bag, and I don't know if you can... Yeah. If you can recapture this kind of magic for the second one. But, I mean, it's not like they had to CG out a mustache.
Exactly.
So
that was the best part of everything, when they just straight up sit. It just seems like they're not taking any prisoners either in this one again, which they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
I think if they can keep it at a hard R, I think they know their audience now, and I think that they know there's an appetite for it. Which is awesome, because it means we get more R-rated, superhero shows. That are good. That's good. I mean, Netflix has been doing, some pretty brutal stuff with Daredevil and the Punisher.
Yeah.
And those are definitely, if those were, on TV, they'd be MA. On FX, and if they were theater, probably would get an R. I mean, it may be a few curse words or nudity shy of actually getting a real hard R.
Yeah.
But it'd be an easy case to argue.
It'd be a hard PG-13 at the very least. It'd
be a hard PG-13. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a PG-13 with, because not all PG-13s are rated the same. They've always got, that disclaimer of, drug and alcohol
There are
usage,
some PG-13 movies.
Suggestive language.
Well, what was it? Titanic was PG-13, and one of the most famous scenes is Kate Winslet being completely naked.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was tastefully done, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying,
everybody died, so that's the lesson.
Exactly.
Nudity brings death.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Voorhees taught us that 30 years earlier.
Right.
Duh.
That's, Camp Crystal Lake.
Camp Crystal Lake.
You just can't be neglecting all of the weirdly headed-shaped children that are trying to learn to swim. I don't know, yeah.
No,
I love those movies. I'm not going to lie.
I gotta watch them.
I have a personal ranking system of 4, 7, 2, 1, 3, 8. The one where Jason Goes to New York is terrible.
Yeah.
Jason Goes to Hell is even worse than that.
What about Jason X?
Oh god, that one's awful. That one's so bad. But I mean, they're all bad in the way that I will still watch them and they're still fun.
Yeah.
But there's a few that are just you really have to kind of watch through through your fingers type of deal, and not because not because of the gore, but because they're so cheesy.
Right.
Whatever the one with Corey Feldman in it, that's my favorite.
Okay.
And then the next one is the one with the psychic chick. And then, 2, I like probably the best. And then Freddy vs. Jason is in there somewhere. I'm a big fan of that. Shout out to Kelly Rowland. Yeah. My second shout out. Not that I think she's listening to that. Or Michael Creighton, for this matter.
Right. Or Chris Pratt.
Or Chris Pratt. No,
or Jeff Goldblum or any other celebrity.
If Jeff Goldblum happens to be listening, I feel like if anyone would be listening, it would be, strangely enough, Jeff Goldblum, where he's like, I've got a thing for obscure podcasts that I just go around and find a weird collection and have my assistant listen to them, and if I'm noticed, I make an appearance on the show. I feel like if anybody does that, it's Jeff Goldblum.
You know what? I want to see Jeff Goldblum and Christopher Walken do a scene together. I don't care what the scene is.
I wonder if that's ever happened. I don't know that that's ever happened.
No. Someone needs to make it happen.
I do need to make that happen. But coming back to the point, Deadpool 2, that's going to be a lot of fun. I think that the cast should be great. I'm just really excited for that. But
if they do not make one joke about Josh Brolin being in both this and playing Thanos, I think I will be slightly remiss.
Yeah. I wonder who the villain is for this, because I feel like Cable's going to slot in for the bad guy for the first quarter of the movie.
Yeah.
First third of the movie. There's going to be that whole I don't know you, you don't know me kind of battle thing going on. And then, I don't know, after that, if it's like Strife, like Cable's evil twin brother, which opens up a whole can of worms. And I don't know that anyone's really interested in that. Hydra?
No.
Maybe? No?
Well, they can't do Hydra.
Well, yeah, because Hydra's...
MCU.
Yeah, well, that whole line is getting really blurry now between MCU and Fox and...
Well, officially, now that this deal's about to officially go underway within a year.
Yeah, I mean... They
need to keep Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's the only thing they need to keep the same.
They probably will.
Yeah.
They probably will.
Yeah. Next trailer.
Speaking of all things Disney.
Yeah, Solo. It was a good teaser. It was a good teaser trailer. I'll admit that. I liked it. But I'm still just very... It's just because I was never excited about this project since they first announced it.
See, I am. I'm excited about this movie, and the main reason why is Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, because I've always wanted more Lando out of my Star Wars movies, and I felt like I never got enough Billy D. Williams, and that really pissed me off. I need more Billy D. Williams in Star Wars, and I didn't get it. So hopefully this. And I think, if anyone is going to play a young Lando, I think that...
It could be Donald Glover.
It should be Donald Glover. It should be Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be super excited. And he's super flashily dressed. It's going to be cool. I mean, there's definitely going to be some things about it that people are going to be pissed off about, because I think, as we all know, and we'll talk about this later, there's nothing you can do in the Star Wars universe that will make everyone happy. It's like politics at this point. The Star Wars universe I equate to, U.S. politics, that, no matter what you do, people are going to be pissed off about it.
I would actually argue that it's worse.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, but there's a very specific reason why I think it's worse.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later, but as for right now, we're talking about Solo. It's just, for me personally, it's just because we've already seen not all of Han's story, but let's just say I'm not excited to see him beat Lando Calrissian in a game of poker to win the Millennium Falcon, necessarily.
I am. And space poker.
Fair enough, but still, the Kessel
with little hologram things that move around. Circle chessboard.
Seeing how and why Chewie owes Lando the life debt. Okay, that I could see. Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing, and maybe even seeing the Kessel Run. But it's just.
There's so many Legends comics about that, and they were always kind of my favorite Legends comics, and even they're doing the new Solo series. For Marvel in the comics, which has been super fun to read, which is just him going around the universe and just being
being a bumbling smuggler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I gotta start reading it,
and not a good one. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to read. So I feel like that has it's definitely planned that way. That has energized, and I'm pretty much looking forward to this movie. I think it could be good. I don't think it's gonna be great, but I think that. Again, this is something we'll talk about later, but I think that Star Wars is one of those things that, you can never live up to the expectations and the grandeur of A New Hope and Empire.
Right. So, moving on, the next trailer, and I think the final trailer that came out this week, Venom.
Teaser trailer, excuse me.
We were talking about this earlier. I don't think I know what the difference is.
No, they're pretty much synonymous nowadays. I don't know that anybody really knows the difference between the teaser trailer and the trailer. Like I said, teasers used to be, like it's the shot of Captain America's shield real quick, and then like Iron Man's mask.
Maybe somebody says something ominous.
Yeah, right, exactly. But like now they're 2-minute long trailers, but we don't get any details out of it, which is fine. Whatever.
Yeah, and
we did get some details out of this one. I felt like we know that Tom Hardy rides a motorcycle, and that a spaceship crashed, and that he's in an MRI machine.
Yeah, and other than that, there was no Venom.
No, there was no Venom.
There was no Venom. They did not show any of the major character. This is another one where even less so than
I wonder if there's anything on their IMDb about like who the character is going to be.
Well, Tom Hardy is playing Venom.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
Like, and he's going to be Eddie Brock, right? He's not going to be Flash. I always wanted to call him Flash. He's Flash Thompson.
No, or who's the other one? Gargan.
Tom Holland is rumored to be Peter Parker. Jack the bartender.
Who's Jack the bartender?
I don't know. He's literally just this guy, Mac Brandt, who's titled as Jack the bartender. Woody Harrelson is in it. Wow, Woody Harrelson just coming on back now.
Yeah, because he's also in Solo, too, actually.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go for Woody Harrelson.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's, I don't know. I'd love to know, like, who the villain is going to be and what I mean, I feel like I already know the plot. Like, I know enough.
It's going to be an origin story.
Yeah, it's going to be an origin story. I just hope that we don't have to wait until like the last third of the movie to actually see Venom. That always pisses me off.
That's what pissed me off. That's what pissed us both off about the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, that was super annoying.
Yeah.
I sat there for an hour and 10 minutes and didn't see a goddamn Power Ranger.
No, in fact, I don't even think we saw one kung fu battle.
No, just training montages. Mm-hmm. Training montages, the worst. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to Venom. I like some of the media they've released out. I like how active it's been in the scene. Like, I don't really care if Spider-Man is in it or not. Like, I'm a big Venom fan, so...
So am I, but I kind of feel you can't have one without the other. That's the thing.
I mean, if we can get Venom in Carnage, that would be dope.
I think that's the rumor. Isn't Carnage supposed to show up?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like a post. I mean, that seems like a second. That seems like a sequel. Yeah. I mean, because that's really how like the Venom story like works. Like, Eddie Brock was captured, was thrown in jail. The Venom symbiote like left some residue on a windowsill and then got picked up by Cletus Cassidy. And then Cletus Cassidy went on like a rampage and had like half of the whatever weaknesses of like Venom. Like, I guess I don't remember, but I want to say that he couldn't be hurt by Sonics, but could be hurt by fire.
Yeah.
Where Venom could be hurt by both. And I feel like there's another one, but I mean, it's fire. Fire hurts everybody.
Yeah, fire kills everything.
Fire kills everything.
Yeah.
No shame, Martian Manhunter.
No shame.
No shame.
Probably the only super overpowered superhero that has a legitimate weakness.
But that's a legitimate weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Where Superman is just a green rock that doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But at any rate,
I don't know. I feel like that could be good. I feel like that's going to be one of those ones though that suffers greatly from like fan anticipation, and then like when it comes out, if it's not exactly what it was supposed to be, people are just going to like lose their minds. Which
I guess might as well be as good a segue as any to bring up what we wanted to talk about mainly, which is just when does being a fan go too far, and when does it make it so that way we can't enjoy the things we love? I guess you could say.
Right. Well, fan is short for fanatic.
Exactly.
There's a reason for that.
Right, but the two big ones that come to my mind. Well, the first big one that comes to my mind is The Last Jedi, which.
Yeah, I don't understand why that one got torn apart like it did. Like, that one, it felt really unfair. Like, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely didn't, do for me what, other past Star Wars movies have done. But it was better than Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yeah.
And it was better than, a whole third of Return of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. No,
and I got beef with the last third of Return of the Jedi. Friggin' Ewoks.
Yeah.
Friggin' Ewoks ruined that movie.
Like the last half, to be honest with you.
Honestly, everything past Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi is pretty lame.
Yeah.
Except for like the last 15 minutes, like with the battle inside of the not the Death Star, but the Star Destroyer that they're cruising around in with the Emperor.
Right. It's just, you see, here's the thing I'm looking at right here, right now.
You had a sister. Ugh.
Yeah, that was kind of, ugh. You had a sister, or Vader. Vader really did kill your father from a certain point of view. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
It's like, why
you just lied, Obi-Wan?
Yeah, just say you lied. Just say you wanted Luke to kill.
Yeah.
Because
they retconned it, and it just turns out that you're a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're the worst.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to The Last Jedi, though, I personally enjoyed just about everything that happened with Luke, Rey, and Kylo. It was just the whole subplot with, like, the casino and everything. That I kind of feel holds everything back.
Yeah, it did make a lot of sense, and it was kind of like watching, like, a glorified episode of 24.
Yeah,
you know, and, like,
exactly.
Like, how everything happened in, like, 18 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Deet. Deet.
I never liked that show. Well, I never got into it.
I never got into it either.
Yeah. But it had a huge cult following. But yeah, I don't... I'm not huge into 24. But I don't know. I like The Last Jedi. I thought it was fine. I don't think that it deserved a lot of the like beef that it got, and I think a lot of that is due to stupid fan theories that come out where like Snoke is actually Jar Jar Binks and Rey's father is actually a combination of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, and it just became like messy. And I think that like all the expectations were set up for these huge reveals where like it was like nah, it's just we're not gonna do that.
No, exactly. We're not. No, and honestly, a lot of those decisions I was okay with. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers in case you haven't figured it out by now. But I was okay with it. Like the whole thing about Rey's parents being nobody. I mean, yeah, it's not the biggest reveal ever. It's not the most dramatic thing ever, but I was okay with it.
Not everybody needs to be a goddamn Skywalker.
No, exactly. In fact, that's kind of what annoys me about it too. Is because you know what it is for me too is how everybody's expecting like, oh, she's gonna be a Skywalker, or oh, she's gonna be like a Kenobi, or like a Qui-Gon Jinn. That's the only thing that would make sense about how she's so powerful with the Force. I'm like, so, and it's not that I'm...
Wait, people actually thought she was going to be Qui-Gon Jinn's daughter?
Yes.
She would have been like 45.
Not daughter, like granddaughter.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah, all right, fine,
still, the
whatever.
point is I don't like it. The point is I think it's stupid.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to get at, though, it's just, oh yeah, USA just scored again. Yay, women's hockey, woo! USA. And there's actually no sarcasm in this, I just don't want to break my mic.
No. Yeah, no.
But at any rate, the point I'm trying to get at, though, is just, to me personally, when you start saying things like she has to be descended of a great Force user in order to be a great Force user herself, you're entering midichlorian territory there.
Right.
Where it's like you're taking away...
I thought, didn't we want to get away from that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just the same thing. It's like you're taking something that was, like, faith-based or even...
Science.
You're turning it into science, which, whatever, but, like, it's just so bad. Like, I don't understand why she has to be related. And, there is a possibility that, Kylo Ren was yanking her chain and lying to her about that. And, that's...
Could be.
If that turns out to be a lie, too, I'm fine with that.
I feel like J.J. Abrams, when he comes back for the third one, is just going to, like, redo everything that Rian Johnson did. And just, like, be like, nah, actually, we changed our minds. It's actually this. You actually are a Skywalker. The Skywalkers are the goddamn Kardashians of the Star Wars universe.
Yes, they are.
They're just all over the place. They can't be stopped. They're super annoying.
And they ruin everything.
And they've ruined everything. Literally, that one family has ruined an entire galaxy.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you proud of yourselves?
Yes. No, they're not.
No,
they're not.
They should not be.
No, but, you look at it right here, right now, and I'm seeing it on Rotten Tomatoes, that the fan score as of this date, which is what, February 11th, we are recording this, that the Rotten Tomato meter for the critic score is a 91%.
Yep.
The fan score is a 48%.
Yeah, that's not really fair.
No, that's not really fair at all. I mean, if I had to give it my own grade, I'd say maybe a 70% or 70, somewhere between 70 and 80, I'd say personally.
And the fact that, Jumanji, it was, the critic score was 76% and the audience was 90%.
I actually
Jumanji.
Yeah, but that's not as big of a discrepancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and I actually hear Jumanji's good.
Yeah.
It's entertaining at least, but right here we're also seeing another huge discrepancy. Now, I haven't seen any of these movies. I don't plan on seeing any of these movies, but 50 Shades Freed is apparently 11% score on the tomato meter for critics, but it's got a 53% from the fans, which I know that's still not great. That's still not great, but I mean, it's just... How can I put it? The other one, too, is Bright. That's the big one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Bright was good, but by no means great. It was actually kind of boring.
I'm actually going the opposite. I'm going a slightly different view, but yeah, it was kind of boring. The You see, this is what I'm talking about. The tomato score gives it a 27%, but the fan score gives it an 86%. I don't understand why these things need to happen. Like, it just seems like some people just cannot let their fandom go. Like, I really do think that people... First off, there are a lot of people who subscribed to the theory that Rotten Tomatoes gets paid off to make all the Disney movies seem better than they really are. Like, I've heard a rumor that a lot of DC fans want to get together and go on Rotten Tomatoes and just downvote Black Panther after it comes out, so it gets...
Do you really need to get together to do that? Like, I envision them being like it's an old school LAN party.
Yeah.
Like, where you have, like, 12 really nerdy dudes, like, in a room playing Halo 1. Like,
yeah.
Does that have to happen?
And
like,
there's the one girl.
Can you just text?
The one girl.
Yeah,
in a room of, like, 300 guys, there's just the one girl.
Just the one girl.
Yeah.
But, like, can you just text each other? Like, do you have to all get into a room? Like...
Well, I didn't mean, like, get together in that sense. But,
oh,
you know what I mean?
But I mean, like, you know, like, who brings...
Band together, I guess you could say.
Who brings snacks, I guess, is, like... And what are the snacks at a Marvel downvoting party? Like, what do you... I guess, mouse? I guess you eat mouse, right?
I guess, yeah.
You eat mice.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say and why it's ridiculous.
Or
because
duck. Duck would be a good one.
Duck, I guess, would be a good one, yeah.
Duck à l'orange,
yeah.
Peking duck... Those are the only two duck dishes I know. I don't eat a lot
deep
of
fried duck.
Deep fried, yeah, you can deep fry duck.
Deep fry?
Yeah, you can deep fry duck.
But this
foie gras is goose, but close enough. It's got a beak.
But this is what I'm trying to say. People are always accusing that Rotten Tomatoes gets a, what do you call it? They get
financial incentive.
They get financial incentive from Disney to downvote these other movies, such as, you know.
That seems so petty.
Out of the DC movies. Here's the thing. DC's owned by Warner Brothers. You know what else Warner Brothers owns? Rotten Tomatoes. Why would they take money from Disney to downvote their movies? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Good question.
Yeah. But, you know, that's just what I mean. Like, it just seems ridiculous that people just can't have to, like, hold on to their fandom. Like, no, this is a thing that I like. It must be good or else. You know? Like, or the entire opposite, you know? This must be exactly the way I want it to be. It's like,
I don't know. I also, like, equate it into the same kind of thing that, like, Yelp reviews get. Like, I don't put a lot of stock in Yelp reviews.
No.
Because you see two kinds of Yelp reviews, right? When you're, like, looking for a restaurant or looking for it. It's, like, the first kind of Yelp review you get was, like, everything was amazing. Like, the cute waitress gave me her number. And then, like, the manager came out of the back and then said because I was such an awesome dude, he was going to comp my $600 meal for free. And then, like, that's one review that you get on Yelp, right? And that's, like, 5 stars. And you're like, oh, my God, like, this place is amazing. And then, like, the 1-star review you get on Yelp, you'd be like, oh, my chicken was undercooked. And when I complained, the manager came out and punched my dad in the face and then tried to hit on my mom. It's like, those are the two kind of Yelp reviews you get.
Right.
Like, where either, like, everything was absolutely amazing and, like, everyone did, like the unexpected to make it. It reads like a that happened post, like,
yeah.
like, in quotations, like, that, no. Or it was, like, someone tried to shoot your dog. Right. Like, that's the only kind of... And, like, nobody ever, like, goes on Yelp and reviews something as, like, yeah, it was pretty good. I'll probably go back. Next time I get the hot wings, I think I'll get the spicier ones. Like, nobody ever does that.
No.
You know what I mean? People only ever comment on this type of stuff when they're, like, super pissed off about it or super hyped about it. And, like, the rest of us in, like, the middle ground, and I feel like those of us that listen to this podcast are fairly moderate, where it was like, yeah, it was good. Could have been better, but I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? Like...
Nobody, but those people, I get what you're saying, because nobody actually says those things. Nobody actually posts those reviews. It's like, there's always like it's always the 5 or the 1-star review. There's never the 3.
Right.
There's never the 3.
Yeah. I think we just have to go back to a thumbs down, thumbs up scale.
Yeah.
I think rating things off of like 100% is just absolute insanity. I think we got to go back to the Roger and Ebert or Siskel and Ebert, like yes or no.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. Like, it has to be that simple. Because I feel like Rotten Tomatoes, like, unjustly hurts movies a lot of the time that would otherwise do much better in a box office setting than they do because they just get slammed. Especially because Rotten Tomato scores start coming out, like...
2 weeks.
Yeah, or like 2 or 3 days before, like, audience scores start coming in, like, 2 or 3 days before, like, the movies gets like, released to the widespread audience. And it's like, that's not really fair. Like,
yeah. Just for a laugh of it, So right now, Black Panther has a 97% tomato score. Right now, like a critic.
It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, no, not a fan.
I know.
From a critic, it hasn't come out yet. You're right, but I'm just simply like it says here. The average rating is 8.3 out of 10.
Oh,
which okay, that seems like it could be reasonable.
Yeah, but again, my whole thing is like it hasn't come out yet. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's really fair. Like, that's not
right.
How are you gonna rate something like that, but then nobody has seen it yet. So it's like, I can't even take that with a grain of salt.
Well, the critics, I think, have seen it.
Sure. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how they're able to score it.
I think it's just, a lot of times it's unjustly. I feel like we shouldn't be able to score things until, like, it actually happens.
Right.
You know, take a page out of the Olympics books. You know, it's like, this person is the top figure skater in the world. It's like, okay, but great, if they fall on their ass on their first spin, guess what? Not the top anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, we all thought they were the top. They were, you know, they were scored highly, but it came out and they fell. So, no. I think we got to do it like that.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And that's like, I feel like that's the ugly side of, like, the fandom where, like, people blindly go into something and they're like, it's going to be amazing, rate 100%. It's like, even if they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And just the opposite, where it's like, we're going to rate it 0 just because we're mad because Marvel is doing better than DC, blah, 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 blah.
Or, hey, my fan theory was wrong. That's the worst one that bothers me. My fan theory was wrong. That is honestly, like, my biggest...
It's a theory. It's like the theory of relativity.
That is my biggest takeaway from The Last Jedi as to why I will forever ignore and hate a fan theory.
Some of them are fun.
They're fun.
I was kind of hoping that Jar Jar Binks was secretly a large Sith Lord that was ruling over the galaxy. That would have amused me to no end.
That actually would have been... I think that would have been like a Mandarin type of twist from Iron Man 3 where, yeah, sure, as a comedic writer, I do appreciate the joke, but at the same time, you did kind of also ruin one of the best known villains in Iron Man's Rogues Gallery. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of one of those things.
Yeah,
you know?
You did.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I mean, like, he wasn't really the real Mandarin, like the real, like, Ten Rings gang, because that was a thing in Iron Man. Like,
yeah, he
got captured by the Ten Rings in Iron Man 1. But yeah. I know what you're saying, and yeah, I agree. But like, I don't know. It definitely would have taken some stones to do that. To be like Jar Jar's, like, to put Jar Jar Binks in a black Sith robe and give him a red lightsaber. Misa, Emperor of the Galaxy.
You said not knowing the power of the dark side of the Force.
Yeah, lightning shoots out of his tongue. Imagine those toys, though. Like,
I'd buy 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'd buy 3 of them.
Yeah, I'd want, the Gungan lightsaber. It's made out of sticks.
Made out of sticks and seaweed.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah. Those weird energy balls that they, like, hurled at the droids.
Right.
That didn't do much except, like, pause them for a quick second.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of useless.
Yeah, it's kind of useless. But, I mean, that really seems to be one of the big things I see keep popping up all over the internet. Is people are like, no, he's supposed to be... Like, Rey was supposed to be related to this person or that person. I'm like, why? I don't know.
I think it's, you know, like I said earlier, Star Wars is one of those things where it's just impossible to please everybody.
Right.
Like, no matter what you do, like, people are going to be pissed. Like, we spent too much time on the backstory. There wasn't enough backstory. Like, I wanted to see exactly how the kyber crystals fit inside of the lightsaber to make it work. And then other people are like, I didn't want to see any lightsaber fights at all. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly the kind of thing that you get in every single Star Wars movie where nobody is ever happy ever.
Or how about, you know, everyone's big complaint, man, The Force Awakens is just the same thing as A New Hope. Why did they do anything different?
And then they did something different.
And then it's like, wait, why is that too different? That's way too different. I don't want it that different.
Right.
Like, make up your goddamn minds,
right.
people. Like,
nobody, yeah. And I didn't really have a beef with either of them. Like,
no, like, they're just... It's one of those things where I love Star Wars. It's probably my favorite movie franchise ever. It's just... That's all they are to me, is they're just movies. They're entertainment. I really don't care. Like, it's not...
People are just salty. I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that we, like, people are just way too fanatical about this type of stuff, and, I mean, it sucks, because then we have to, like, listen to all these idiots.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like, the days and weeks afterwards, like, my Facebook feed and my Twitter feed was just filled with people complaining about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it was like, stop.
Stop.
Either go enjoy the movie or don't. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, shut up about it. My favorite was I saw, like, spouses of people, like, posting about it. And they were like, you need to shut up about this. This is all you talk about at home. like, I think it might have caused some divorces. Like, I think some relationships were ruined. Like, now kids have visitation rights on the weekends only because someone didn't like The Last Jedi.
Well, here's my thing.
That's what happens when you change things. That's your disclaimer. You know, that's your lesson here, is like, don't take this shit too seriously, because next thing you know, you have a divorce and you're a single dad living in a single dad apartment, which is just so sad.
Yeah, or how about the fact that there's a petition to get this movie removed from the canon?
Yeah.
It has over 85,000 signatures, last time I checked.
Great. Those are 85,000 people that should never be allowed in a movie theater again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, really? To me, it's just, don't we have bigger fish to fry? Like, you're actually wasting people's time by making a petition. And on top of that, too, I read the claim for the petition, or an excerpt of the petition's claim. And at one point, the guy who wrote it said Star Wars has always been about Luke Skywalker. And I'm just thinking, right, because he played such a prevalent role.
Except for the first 3 movies where it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. He had such a prevalent role as an unpowered baby for the last 5 minutes of the third movie in his father's trilogy. Like,
right.
No, it had nothing. It's not always been about Luke Skywalker, and it doesn't need to be about Luke Skywalker, which is why I'm looking forward to Rian Johnson's trilogy, where they're not going to be about the Skywalkers.
See, and this is why I'm excited about like Solo and why I liked Rogue One, because honestly, I'm a little sick of the Jedi. Like,
so no, I get that, and so I mean, there's got to be a lightsaber battle in it. They have to have a lightsaber. They have to have a lightsaber something in this because it's Star Wars. It's kind of like the signature weapon.
True.
You know,
laser swords.
Some kind of laser sword,
like Mark Hamill calls them.
Yeah, exactly. Which was great, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's what he and George Lucas have always called them. They call them laser swords. They don't call them lightsabers. Like,
well, yeah.
All the way back to New Hope. Like when they were doing like acting, they were like, and then you take your laser sword and then you do this with it. Like they've always been laser swords. They never called them lightsabers, which I think is just so great because it's like something your dad would say.
Right. Oh, you got the laser sword?
Yeah. Nice laser sword.
Yeah, nice laser sword. Which I would love a laser sword.
Yeah, well, yeah, who wouldn't? Yeah. But let's be honest, like, we'd all be missing limbs if we all had laser swords.
Yeah, but I mean...
That would be, like, the worst thing. That's literally the worst thing you could ever do. It'd be like giving a chainsaw to a chimpanzee. Like, it'd be a terrible idea.
Oh, of course it would be a terrible idea, but... I mean, we don't need to get into it either, but, you know...
It's like, how did that chimpanzee get a chainsaw? He's like, I don't know, but I'm running.
Well, I'm just simply saying when it comes to the whole lightsaber thing, you're bringing up the Red Ryder BB gun argument again.
Okay, yes, but, like... You know, instant death versus, like, you might put somebody's eye... Like, you might put somebody's eye out, I think, is the very, like, important word in that. Like,
yeah.
It might happen.
Right.
Like, with a lightsaber, like, you will cut your own hand off.
Right.
Literally, just about everyone who has wielded a lightsaber has had their hand cut off.
True. Usually not by their
Or
own...
disfigured.
Usually not by their own lightsaber, though,
okay.
to be fair.
But, or disfigured.
Or disfigured. Again, not by their own lightsaber, though.
Pretty sure Anakin Skywalker got his hand cut off by his own lightsaber. Count Dooku. Look it up.
Yeah, you might be right on that one, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I might have to double-check that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen Attack of the Clones.
And I plan to keep it that way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
So if you're still listening, go ahead and let us know if that's actually what happened. And actually, I feel like it might have been Count Dooku that cut off his hand.
No, it was Count Dooku that cut off his hand, but it might have been with his own lightsaber.
Yeah. Either way, this is what I'm saying.
Okay, so then fine. It might not have been... He might not have... no one has lost a limb using a lightsaber by their own hand.
But they have lost a hand.
They have lost a hand, yeah.
Yeah, no, still, like I said, people are prone to get maimed and disfigured by lightsabers.
Mm-hmm. Just like people are likely to prone and maim a movie just because it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to.
Right, because people are salty bitches.
Yeah. And speaking of salty bitches, actually, this is kind of a smaller one, but you know what argument always kind of bothers me about The Last Jedi, even though it's not a very prevalent one, but it still pops up every once in a while? Like, remember how at the beginning those bombers, how they quote-unquote dropped bombs in space on that dreadnought?
You have the magnetic...
Yeah, here's the thing. People don't... First off...
Magnetic bombs?
Yeah, first off, people don't buy that because their argument is that you can't drop things in space. Well, here's the thing. They used a magnetic pulley catapulty system, or whatever you want to call it, to push the bombs. And, you know, when things start floating in space in one direction, they go that way until they hit something else.
Yeah.
So if anything, I can suspend my disbelief for that. But number two, if you can't suspend your disbelief for that, then don't you dare tell me that it's okay that as TIE fighters, jet engines will howl in space. Don't do that. Don't you dare.
Right.
Because in reality, you know what a TIE fighter would sound like? There it is.
Yeah, right, nothing.
There it is.
Yeah, it's funny, because one thing after playing like a whole bunch of Battlefront, one thing I've realized is that, like, there's no way for the X-Fighter to, like, land and take off vertically, like it does. Like, it has engines on the back.
There's like a weird, like, quote-unquote anti-grav device that they have in Star Wars, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Is there?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a thing that it's a thing that gets mentioned once in a while in the expanded universe, but you never see it.
I feel like that's only something you hear when it gets shot. They're like, oh no, they shot our anti-gravity system. How are we going to land?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's it. That's the only thing.
It
happens in, like, an obscure episode of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Or probably a Jar Jar episode.
Oh, yeah. Which everyone just skipped over.
Yeah, exactly. Jar Jar and Padme.
Oh, God, they're the worst.
Like, even the ones that featured just R2-D2 and C-3PO were good.
Well, Droids was a good show.
I never saw Droids.
Droids is old school.
Yeah, like, what, 1982?
Yeah, Droids is old school.
Yeah. At any rate, we're starting to veer off topic. Is there anything else that you would like to add to this discussion? Or?
No, I think people just gotta, like, calm down on their loot boxes and, you know, stop getting so many tattoos on the fandom and like, just kind of chill. Yeah. You know, like, relax, guys. It's just entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. So long as I'm entertained, I'm happy. I really don't care about much of anything else. Which, you know, kind of ties into, like, something else before we get going off where, you know how, like, a lot of those DC fans say, oh, man, Marvel movies, you know, they just have a formula and they don't really take any chances. And to me, personally, I'm like, no, you're right. They totally do follow the same formula every time. Mm-hmm. And that formula works. And I'm entertained and I don't feel like I'm being talked down to. So I'll take it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas the DC movies, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody does.
No.
Those movies are just becoming...
worse and worse every time.
Yeah.
Remember how hopeful we were after Wonder Woman?
I really was. I was really thinking that was going to be like the turnaround spot for the DC movies.
And I knew it had to be Justice League, and Justice League was awful.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I still haven't seen Justice League. I still haven't seen Spider-Man.
You're missing out on Spider-Man. I'm telling you that right now.
I'll get to it maybe someday
when it finally comes out on Netflix.
Nah, it's out on Stars. I saw it last night, but I was like, nah, I'll watch that later. I just keep putting it off. I don't know, just not super enthused about it. Venom, I'm excited. Spider-Man,
All right. I guess that could do it for us for the rest of the day. Dan, thanks for being on the show as always.
Of course.
All right, guys, and you know where to find me on Twitter and Facebook and social media. Instagram has changed now to Kyle Daley Comedy, but still Kyle Daley 1987 on Twitter for now. I'll probably change that to Kyle Daley Comedy. Either way, bottom line is hit us up. Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Dan, once again, thanks for being here. And we'll see you guys soon.
For sure.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?